All right, all right. Oh, 1 second. Let me bring you in. Here we go. Hello, Alex.
Okay. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Loud and clear. All right.
You have a good
Well,
microphone.
I have a microphone for sure. Well, it has been 3 months, Ori.
Well, it's the first live marketing live jam in the new year. We're only 8 weeks late, but hey,
Yep, we are
gotta
eight
run a
weeks.
show.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, for those of you, well, we're just waiting for the countdown to finish off before we get into today's content. But why don't you give us a bit of a rundown? Where have you disappeared into in the last 2 to 3 months?
Yes, I had a bit of a can't call it hibernation, but when you suddenly disappear for a little while, um, I was not surprised, not surprised at all. But we welcomed a new baby boy into our life,
Wow, wow,
and
wow, wow, wow. Hey,
that obviously comes with its need for attention, which was beautiful, and everything went well, and we're super excited for 202 now. So the household is very
two,
alive.
202. I remember those days. And not to scare you, but I would probably say those 3 years were the toughest years of my life and to my marriage as well, to be honest, if I could be a little bit vulnerable here.
Yeah,
We were newlywed and then we had 2 kids in 3 years, first three
yeah,
years of our marriage. And
yeah,
it was all hands on deck, organized chaos, sometimes
yeah,
out of control chaos.
yeah,
But I wouldn't trade it for anything. I would do it all over again.
yeah. Yeah, like to imagine that a child is not here when you have a child is you can't imagine that. So it's the right thing when you have a child.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And you can only learn on the job. There is no
yeah,
manual,
yeah,
and every child is different.
and especially
Uh,
people that don't have children, they give the best advice. So
exactly. Well, we've got two minutes to go. We've got half a dozen of people watching, which is
awesome.
encouraging and awesome, given we haven't been on for a good part of 8 weeks. For those of you who are watching, the reason why is because Ori, our friend here, just had a new baby, and I took 7 weeks off overseas.
Nice.
My business keeper, we're with you, Ori. Yes,
Oh
three under.
wow,
There you go. That
nice.
would be our friend from my business keeper. Let me guess, that
Yeah,
would either be Pauline or Eloise.
nice. Well, either way, lovely to have you in the live stream, and yeah, up in Orange.
Yes, up in
Nice.
Orange. Yeah, so for the half a dozen of people who are watching, feel free to leave a comment. Where are you tuning in from? Obviously, we're going to go through some marketing content, but if you have a burning marketing question that is bugging you right now at this minute, and let me tell you, start of the year, well, technically we're not start of the year, but for work live is still early days at the
Mm.
moment because sort of people are still, they're just warming up to the year. And let me tell you, there are so many burning marketing questions that I come across every single day
Yeah,
in our work in consulting, and most of them are very quirky. So there's no one size fits all answer. But if you have a burning marketing question, please feel free to leave a comment in this chat, and also tell us where are you tuning in from. That would be absolutely amazing.
yeah. Yeah, it's so true what you say. There's so much happening in the marketing space, and we would all love the perfect system, the perfect framework that covers every scenario. But we can only lean on principles um,
Absolutely.
and and guidelines. But really, the the success comes in the implementation of custom solutions to each problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So nothing. Yeah, exactly. It is to me. I was actually having an exact same conversation yesterday or the day before with a friend of mine. We're all out there trying to hunt for the perfect framework, and then and then we'll implement it in a linear way into whatever that we're doing, and then
Yeah,
everything's just going to trend up. It does not happen.
it's
um,
true. It's
yeah.
true. Yeah, life is not linear as much as we would like it to be.
Yep.
And
No, and that's what's beautiful about life.
yeah,
Now, enough about our old man grunting. What's on the agenda today? Well, for those of you who are watching, welcome back for another episode of Marketing Live Jam, our marketing weekly show, our weekly YouTube show for
semi-weekly.
us. profitable marketing advice in real time. So thank you for joining us. And it is our commitment to be on every single week, because now both me and Ori have stabilized the ship in terms of our
Yes.
personal lives and holidays. And it is our commitment to
Yeah.
get on every single week so that we can give profitable marketing advice in real time.
Yeah.
Cool,
And
cool.
we will always come up with stuff to talk about because there's endless topics that we can cover. But if you have something specific you want our opinions on, then please put it in the chats, or let us know, and we'd be more than happy to cover that and give our opinion.
Absolutely. We have an opinion on everything. So there's
Yeah.
no
Well, we are
shortage of
marketers, so we have to.
opinion. Exactly. Cool, cool. Well, if you could excuse me, because I am actually under the weather a little bit, so I'll be a little bit sniffly. But yeah, I'll do my best to push through. Now, Ori, tell me what's on the agenda today.
I have one big topic that I want to cover, but before that, I want to geek out a little bit on AI, because there always needs to be something AI related. There's so much happening in that space, and every week we find new ways to improve workflows, to get information quicker, and so that's always cool. But the main topic
Let
I
me
want
put
to
it
cover
this way:
today.
every week we find ourselves to confuse us. We find ways to confuse ourselves with AI because there's just so many tools out there and so many options, and then
Yeah,
we get into paralysis by analysis, trying to tap into the latest and coolest toys, and
yeah,
then we forget to keep the main thing the main thing. So,
yeah,
as much as we all love AI, just be reminded that the human brain is still the most powerful device on earth. And it is our responsibility to make the AI to serve us instead of
yeah.
trying to rely too much on the technology to make critical decisions for
Yeah.
us.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was sharing a few ideas with the team before. And I said, for strategic decisions, I don't really want to rely on AI too much, but for anything that is low quality work or non-billable time, admin work, workflows that can be simplified and are repetitive, you need to utilize AI to protect your mental capacity to be able to make decisions.
That
And
is a
so
great way to put it.
it's
That
less
is,
about finding the new shiny tool. It's how do I use AI in general, not how do I use ChatGPT or how do I use Midjourney,
yeah,
but how do I use AI to simplify a particular workflow or process and free up my mental space or
that
time.
is so good. That is so good. Just so that I can go on another tangent, like I think in this day and age of knowledge work,
Yeah.
it is much less about how many hours we put in, because to be honest, after 3 hours of consulting or doing deep
Mm.
work, I'm fried. Like
Yeah.
I cannot physically do any more work after
Yeah.
3 days of intense deep work. Does that mean that I'm lazy? I don't think so. But it's just how modern day knowledge work is
Yeah.
conditioned to be, right? So, to your point, I think you've hit the nail in the head. In terms of utilizing AI, I think is a very smart proposition or a
Mm.
smart thought process to use the AI to free up our mental space so
Yeah.
that we're not spending energy and time to do shallow work, which
Yeah.
means the repeatable, the non-billable, the all that stuff that is clogging up the headspace, and
Yeah.
free up that headspace to do important work.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are two things that I want to show you quickly before we jump into sitemaps. Is one is there are two things that happen all the time. Is we need to create prompts. Yeah, if you use any AI tool, most of them still rely on you prompting them to do something specific. So we
Hmm.
need a way to create great prompts. And then we need to have ways to quickly use these prompts.
Mm.
Yeah, this is not necessarily an AI tool, but it's I've come across Raycast, which is it's like an extension to your Mac, and it does a lot of things. But one thing that it does, it can save snippets,
Mm.
and so it's simply snippets of text. So you can save hundreds of different prompts in Raycast, and then whatever app you're in, you can just deploy them instantly.
Hmm.
And I have found a really, really easy trick is to go to ChatGPT and do the voice mode and
Hmm.
just explain to ChatGPT in plain words with your voice what you wanted to achieve, and say, now create a prompt for me to get this output.
Hmm. Yep.
AI knows incredibly well how to use AI to get a certain output.
Yeah.
And so I have found this super helpful to say, hey, this is my problem. This is what I'm trying to do. Create a prompt that I can use for ChatGPT.
That's so good. Yep.
And so what I've
So
done
you're
is,
asking the AI to teach itself, basically.
yeah, or
Yeah.
just to instruct itself.
Yeah.
And even OpenAI has released some instructions on how you should prompt, and so
Mhm.
AI knows all that stuff.
Hey, is there a live demo that you could? I know we're going off script at the moment, but this is the essence of what we're
Yeah,
trying to do, right?
yeah,
Doing things in a live jam sort of
yeah,
scenario. Is that something that we could demo right now?
yeah. We can do that. So you can see my screen.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So because I have,
So that you're getting set up again for the half a dozen people who are watching this, I would imagine you'll be semi interested in this topic. So since we're on the topic of AI and everything, drop your comments or drop a question in the comments. If there's anything that you want us to work through, now is the time for us to do it. Okay, off you go.
so I had an issue that sometimes I want to get all the content of a website, like all the words, etc. I want to get them onto a Google Doc. The
Hmm.
issue is that, and I'll show you this. If I go to any website, let's just say we go to our website,
Hmm.
and if I just go Command A, copy all that
Yeah,
stuff, and put it um, into a Google Doc. Why do I have to? Um, it is just, let me just bring in a different file. If I
Bailey says Talktastic. Is this the thing that you're using? Talktastic for Mac is also incredible too.
no, I use Raycast,
Raycast. Okay.
which I will show you in just a moment.
Yep. By the way, Bailey Cook is an incredible videographer based out in Bendigo, and he's probably one of the most talented people on earth in terms of videography and cinematography. So, if those of you who are watching who are desperate to have some eye candy added to your marketing, Bailey Cook is your number one choice.
Yes, I vouch for Bailey Cook for sure. So, okay, new document. Here we go. If I just copy this in here, it just doesn't look great. Yeah, you've got the
Mhm.
colors are wrong, etc. It's very hard to read. You get images done in, pasted in. Even if I paste in without formatting, it doesn't look that great.
Yep.
So sometimes I want to extract all the text from a website and have the formatting, like the headings and the list, etc., in there, because we try to stay in the Google Workspace ecosystem as much as we can, for the
Yep.
reason that we have to collaborate with so many people all the time, and everyone has a
Yeah.
Google account, and so
And
it makes.
also because of Gemini, James. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, James. And because of Gemini, which is another hot topic that we should talk about,
Yeah,
we as a consulting firm is making an effort to centralize all of our documentations and so many things into the Google ecosystem because Gemini has now been inbuilt into Google Docs and Gmail and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
over time, it's just going to work wonders. Imagine we have transcripts of all of our Zoom calls, all of our internal conversation, all of our phone calls, all of our text messages into something like a Google Doc. And 6 months later, when we're stuck strategically, guess what? We can go to the AI and ask, okay, review all the conversations we've had over the 3 months and tell us what you think.
yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
that will be. I know I'm going off track again, but that's
But it's, we get
another.
excited about this stuff, so we have to mention it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why we're heavily investing into Google,
Yeah,
the Google ecosystem.
yeah. So, what I thought of is, hey, I can access the code of a site, just by inspecting a website, and then I know that I have, all the code in the background. What if I feed this code to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you extract all the texts, format it in a way that I can read it, and then put it in a Google Doc for me?
Hmm.
So, and I explained this to ChatGPT, and
Hmm.
then you can probably see it here, the conversation that I had. Oh yeah, this is a voice here. Yeah, you can read.
Yeah.
I need help with the prompt. I have an HTML file that is full of HTML code with text, etc. And what I want the prompt to instruct is that it will take the code, analyze it, and then spit it out as a markdown format. I went through a few iterations. I said, hey, I need you to add this, I need you to add this, format it this way. But then at the end, I get a certain prompt. I have then saved this prompt in in Raycast, and now all I have to do is type in HTML to markdown, and the moment I fill this, type in the whole word, it's going to fill in the prompt.
Magical.
Yeah, and the prompt says, I have an HTML file containing, your task is to format all these things, ensure,
awesome.
etc., example
Yeah.
output, and this is what ChatGPT has generated, and I've
Beautiful.
saved this prompt. Now, it's very easy. I create a new prompt. I
Yeah.
type in my snippet code, HTML to markdown. I go enter, and now it says, okay, give me the HTML file.
There you go.
Now I can go in here. I go to, let's get it from here. I go copy out of HTML. Bring it back to ChatGPT, paste it in here. Now it says, oh, it's too long. That's fine. I go to Gemini. I do the same thing. No, HTML to markdown.
Wow, you are improvising as you go.
Or you have to HTML to markdown. It can, for some reason, it can handle more than. Now I paste in the HTML code, and now it will go through the code of our website and put it all into different sections with the heading, paragraph, lists.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, why do I need this? For my instance, it's I want to be able to collaborate with copywriters to say, hey, this is a wireframe, this is a website that I have. Can you put your comments and stuff in there? I know there are tools on how to review websites, etc.,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
can be clunky, they can be expensive. I don't want people to have to sign up for something. I just want quick opinion,
Yeah.
and
Great.
I can very quickly generate this.
That's so
Now,
good.
with Gemini, which doesn't work in ChatGPT, once it's generated that stuff, it's still loading. I can instantly generate a document from that particular output.
Bam. That's why we
Which,
love Gemini. That's why we love Gemini. That's
yeah,
why we want to stay in the Google ecosystem. For those of you who are watching, I'll let it keep generating.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was done.
So it's generated everything. I go here, export to docs, and it's gonna generate a document in just a moment. I go open docs, and I can share it with whoever I want.
Far out. It's magic trick. Now, some of you guys love this kind of stuff, live demo, and how to gig out on different things, how to manipulate codes and whatnot, right? But even not so much of a tech person, which I'm not. I think the general idea that we're trying to convey here is that sometimes when we're using AI, we don't even know what questions to ask, right, or
Yeah,
how to phrase a particular thing, right? What Ori has demonstrated here is that where you actually got a nice from James, which is encouraging. Um, what Ori has demonstrated here is that you can just verbalize or blurb out. If you're more of a typing sort of person, whatever idea that is in your head. I prefer to use the voice myself. Like I
yeah,
find myself actually talking to ChatGPT for half an hour in the car, which is the scariest thing ever. But if you can just verbalize, you can just verbalize what's in your head. Ask ChatGPT to convert the human thought process into a language that the computer can understand, copy and paste that language to keep working the AI machine,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
that's the whole thought process, right? So sometimes when we're stuck, pull up something like a, whatever tool that you were talking about, basically a voice tool built within whatever AI tool that you're using, and just start talking away, right?
yeah,
Um, and that's a really really good hack in
yeah,
terms of how to get started when you feel stuck.
yeah. And we're not talking about how to edit legal contracts and deep research and all that stuff. It is time efficiency management. Yeah, how
Yeah,
do we reduce? Because what I would have to do is if I wanted to create this manually, I would have to bloody copy and paste each line from your website.
Yep.
What a waste of time.
Yes.
And that is time that nobody's going to pay you for.
Yep.
And this is
Absolutely.
time you should
And
spend.
next thing you know is half an hour gone.
Yeah.
And
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 we,
and then after the half an hour, you're off to the kitchenette to go another cup of coffee. There's another 15 minutes gone,
yeah,
and next thing you know, you sit back down. There's an hour gone. You
yeah,
know, yeah,
yeah. And it allows you to stay in the thought process of what you actually want to do.
yeah,
And so, and this is one example out of thousands, of stuff that you could do.
absolutely. Okay, well, before we move on to another topic, you so every week, obviously, you're watching the AI well like a hawk. What are some of the new updates that excites you the most this week?
I noticed that Perplexity has a deep research functionality now,
Yeah, I saw that this
and
morning.
you see this more with AI tools now that they have a deeper thinking process, and they show you what they're going through, like the thinking that they're going through. So
Yeah,
this seems to be something very hot topic, how AI models learn to think better, because
yeah.
we've all had these outputs that sound good, but they're actually not right. And so I
Mhm.
think AI is trying to justify itself with real world data rather than just made up stuff that sounds good. So that's
Yeah.
certainly exciting. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I had a great idea for a lead magnet actually. And I only recently realized that you can, if you create a custom GPT, you
Mhm.
can you can link it to external platforms.
Mhm.
So, for example, what you could do is you create a custom GPT that guides someone through a client onboarding or
Mm.
through a certain quiz. And then once you say, "Hey, I'm finished," it's going to take the data, put it in a Google Doc, create a PDF, send an email, and put it in your CRM system.
Mm.
What that allows you to do is to fully customize the experience every single time. Rather than having a set form, you just have a custom GPT with strict instructions, but then you can link that particular output to an action, send it to Zapier or make.com, etc.
Mm.
And that opens up so much to create custom GPTs for every possible work task.
Yeah.
And that gets into like the AI agent space where you
Yeah.
have you have AIs that have certain roles that then
Mhm.
perform whenever you want to, and it's
Yeah.
less just a prompting and an output, but it's hey, here's a role, here's a task, now
Mm.
go and do it.
Wow. There you
Which
go. Well, I can't wait when we get into the AI agents, and then actually we'll be able to show more magic.
yeah,
Now, before we turn this marketing live jam into an AI podcast, right? Let's switch gears a little bit to talk about marketing.
yeah,
James, interesting. I haven't met you before, James, but apparently you found C Sharp through AI, which is very exciting and interesting because I was in a boardroom the other day consulting a legacy charity, who's been around for 100 years and whatnot. They're thinking through how they evolve and all that sort of stuff. And you know, one of the comments that we made was things like SEO, because obviously with these old school businesses, when it comes to marketing, all that they can think about is SEO and
yes,
newsletters and sort of stuff, right? Well, things like SEO is probably going to become obsolete or will evolve to another thing because well, for people like James and myself and Ori, I actually don't use Google for search anymore, right? I hardly use Google for search other than Google Maps looking for
yeah,
addresses and whatnot. Yeah, and apparently James came across C Sharp through AI. I don't know through whatever means, but it's actually very interesting to know.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I actually had a chat about I caught up with some web designers recently, and I said, "What's your opinion on SEO?" Like, I'd like to get more into it, but I'm also concerned like it's a bit tedious and is this old school? And they made a really good point. They said, "We will always be in a space where people will search for information. The medium might change,
mm,
but whoever gives you the information needs to get the information from somewhere.
mm,
So in
mm,
that sense, SEO is still very relevant,
mhm.
but to just rely on Google, that's not enough anymore."
You're putting
And
all the eggs in one basket, and guess what? That basket belonged to someone else. You
yeah,
know, they don't need to inform you when they change your algorithm. And again, we've said this so many times. We've witnessed time and time again where businesses hedge all their bets into a single platform, namely TikTok, namely Instagram, namely Facebook private group or
Yeah.
Facebook page. They change your algorithm, and you're all back to zero, right? So we got to be really thinking about how to build leverage for ourselves, build our own audience, our own list, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which is
Okay.
a great reason to have a website and your own CRM and not somebody else's borrowed platform.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, let's pivot to our next topic. I believe you wanted to talk about Sitemap. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. For those of you who are watching, leave a comment. Okay, James, SEO is still very valid. Correct, the medium will change. It will just like when music went from CD to MP formats.
Mhm.
Very interesting. I can have a 2-hour conversation with you, James, about the music industry because that's where I came from, and just change. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thank you for all your comments and conversation so far, James, Bailey, and Pauline. Um, we want to talk to you a little bit about our upcoming StoryBrand workshop, which we did 6 times last year, and this year we will continue to do every single month starting late March. Okay, so there are two intakes upcoming. One is on the I believe, last week of March,
Mhm.
and then the following one would be on the first week of May. Um, well, I think I've talked so many times about what's installed for the workshop. Maybe Ori, you can give us a bit of a rundown of what's in store for the StoryBrand workshop this year, in combination of new initiatives and new tools launched by StoryBrand HQ.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in a nutshell, if you know StoryBrand, you know about building a StoryBrand, and you probably know about marketing made simple as well. Building a story brand is the messaging framework on how we position our brand as a guide in the marketplace. Marketing made simple is the application of that framework into marketing assets. So day one, we're all learning about the framework. We're writing your messaging. We are really nerding down on how do we use words to position ourselves in the marketplace. And then day two is super practical, where we write wireframe copy, we create content, we think about sitemaps, we get really, really practical. But this year, we are infusing a lot more AI into it. As we discussed at the beginning, AI will supercharge our workflow. We still need the strategic component. That's why day one is so important. But day two will be even more productive. Although it's already so productive, and people go out with a blown out brain,
Mm-hmm.
but you will leave with an even better plan. You will leave with even more content, and you will leave with a even more clarity on how to grow your business.
Yeah. Well, one highlight for me every single time that absolutely blow my socks off is that on day two we have a media team in the room, and they're set up to do photography and videography. In the workshop, we actually teach you how to write a compelling video script.
Mm.
And then we put you in front of the camera, read to a teleprompter of the script that you have created based on the StoryBrand messaging framework. And every single time I see people coming in from day one,
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, I don't even know how to do marketing. I'm not confident. I'm just here to check out, blah, blah, blah." And then day two, at the end of day two, they actually confidently stand in front of the camera and pitch their business using the
yes,
words that they can actually control and words that are designed to sell products and services. And that is the number one every single time. The rewards that I see from doing a workshop like this.
yeah,
Plus, obviously, we've had a really successful run last year, but now with the extra spin on StoryBrand AI, which is the tool that you will get
yeah,
private access to when you come to the workshop. The fruits of those 2 days is just going to be supercharged. So
yeah,
I can't wait. So the two upcoming intakes, end of March and start of May. Seats are very limited. Every single time we only take in no more than 12. So if you want to sign up, go to the link,
yeah.
sign up for the upcoming workshop.
Awesome. Yeah, it is. It is also intensely human, which is awesome. It's not just a Zoom call.
Yes.
It is very human, which is probably one of
Yep.
my
If you're
favorite
flying
parts.
in from interstates, accommodation is arranged as part of the process. We will host you. We'll provide all the catering. It's going to be a very good community to immerse yourself in. This is not some fancy marketing conference. It is a war room situation where we roll up our sleeves and we work together as a community so that you can walk out with a complete marketing plan to be executed. Okay, let's talk about
Awesome.
sitemap,
Awesome.
and we have precisely 9 minutes left.
Awesome. Cool. Well, the reason that I want to talk about sitemaps is we have so many discussions with clients, especially with clients that think they need a new website, and the
Mhm.
discussion is always, well, let's sit down and think about your sitemap. And I wanna kind of geek out a little bit on what is a sitemap, but how do we think through deciding what what pages to use in a sitemap?
Mhm.
Um, they are the obvious ones, but I think we have somewhat a unique spin on how we approach deciding what pages to build.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be really helpful for people listening in if they have a website and they feel like the website is not performing. It might be because they have the wrong pages on the site and they're sending wrong traffic to the wrong pages.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, when it comes to sitemap, two thought processes come to mind, right? Obviously, all the about us contact page, maybe some services, and if you're in the product business, a library of product description pages, like those are given, right?
Yep.
So every single website should have them. Okay, and where the rubber hits the road really is to think through. Let's say someone comes to your homepage and they're semi interested in what you do and they want to engage more, or they feel prompt to click to another page, right? How do we go about directing that traffic so that they actually land on the pages, or land on the pages that are appropriate for them or relevant to them, and also in a sense that drives them to click the call to action button, right?
Yep.
So there's two thought processes, and again, there's no hard and fast rule because every situation is different. But we usually would think through a sitemap in two different ways. One is what we would call a rabbit hole approach. Okay, so if you are in a business where you have clear verticals or clear target audiences or separate target audiences, I'll give you an example. The karate studio have a client of ours. So their target audiences are very clear, right? They have, I believe, 5 to 9 years old as one silo, and then they have the 12-year-old plus, and then they have adult classes. They even have like grandparent classes, right? So those are what I would call rabbit holes, where we can basically create a sitemap or
Mm.
landing pages around those verticals, and in obviously in the copywriting itself, we need to specifically communicate or specifically talk about what problems we're solving. Okay, so that's one approach, which I would call the rabbit hole approach. um, the other approach would be what I would call a problem solution approach. Okay, so let's say in your business, the target audience itself is somewhat a bit of a melting pot. So you can't clearly differentiate based on, I don't know, gender, age, economic status, and so on and so forth. And then is a little bit of a melting pot. What I would be thinking through is what specific problems, or what specific problem or what individual problems can you solve for people? All right, I'll give you two examples. One, we have a client who is in furnishing, okay, and they have probably three verticals that they tap into. One is your homeowners who want to enjoy a beautiful home, so they basically want to create a dream home or create a dream space. And then you have another vertical in this business where they actively go after investors. And when you think about investors, they actually don't really care about the look and feel or the finishes. All they want is maximum ROI for my rental property. Okay. And then we have the third vertical, which is similar to the investors, being Airbnb or short term stay owners. Their problem is still an ROI, but the proposition is probably slightly different, especially with Victoria or in Australia has recently introduced a levy or a tax added to Airbnb owners. So the proposition is more about you got to beat this you got to beat this tax. Otherwise, it's not even worth having an Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
So based on those three, this particular company will be able to use what we call the problem solution method to create a sitemap, right? So instead of going are you a homeowner? Are you an investor? Are you an Airbnb owner? The kind of languages that we would probably use is create your dream home in 30 days, right? And then the second page or the second menu bar of the sitemap will be
Yeah.
increase rental ROI by X%, right? And then the third menu bar could be uh, um, outperform something. I don't know. That's where we need to do the deep
Yeah.
work in sitting down
Yeah.
working out the language, right? But because in this scenario, there are three clear problems that this business can solve, right? I can help you to create your dream home if you're a homeowner. I can help you to increase your rental ROI by X% through furnishing, and also I can help you help your Airbnb property perform better, right? So this is another technique that we would deploy in terms of thinking through a sitemap. Now, question to you, Ori, would be:
Yeah.
is there other examples that you could think of, which we could sort of amalgamate these thought process?
Yeah. I with website, obviously, everyone mentions SEO, and I'd be keen to hear from you. When does SEO make sense for websites? Or is this, there's the one view where it's like, hey, this is old school, this is not going to work anymore, and keyword stuffing is old school and is also unethical and disgusting. But where does it make sense to have lots of
Look,
pages that are
yeah,
very SEO driven?
yeah. Look, if you're watching this and if you're a SEO fanboy, what I'm about to say is probably going to offend you, but that's okay. My goal in life is to offend every single person that I come across. Not really. Um, I actually don't really care about SEO as a marketing consultant or a marketing professional. I do not care about SEO, and that is a controversial thing to say, right? Because to me, SEO, no matter how much you optimize it, SEO traffic is unpredictable, is inconsistent, and is very, very hard to track, right? Without going into all the nitty gritty and all the reporting and all that sort of stuff, right? But SEO for me is a low value, high effort
Mm.
uh, exercise, um, which is helpful. Like I've seen people killing it on SEO after doing it for years and years and years,
Mm.
right? Big websites, big drop down menu, lots of keyword stuffing, and you have to consistently be doing this thing for years and years and years for it to give you the effect that you want, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm more of a fan of direct paid traffic or direct traffic from affiliates and email lists
Hmm.
because with that, I'm not saying that we can track everything perfectly, right? But that is a much easier and much more straightforward way to drive traffic, right? Because it's pay to play, right? For example,
Mm.
you run Google ads and Facebook ads and Meta ads and TikTok ads and whatnot, right? You get to actually work out how much you're paying per click. Oh, okay. How much are you paying per impression?
Yeah.
How much are you paying per click? How much are you paying per conversion? And you can actually make informed financial, tangible decisions based on the money that you invest into the campaign, right? I know this is an unorthodox answer to your original question, what's my take on SEO?
Yeah.
But if there's one takeaway and you can agree and disagree with me, please leave it in the comments. I love a bit of debate. I do not care about SEO, and as a marketing professional of 15 years, that's my
Yeah.
take.
Yeah. So I have a slightly different opinion. I think there are many pages on a website, and there are types of pages that serve a different purpose. So you have your default pages, like your home, your about page, your services page. They inform people that want to know more about your business, but they most likely they already know you and they look you up and they're like, what do they do, or they want to find out about class times for karate, etc. You need those pages to satisfy those types of searches, but they're not going to be your new acquired clients. They're either old clients or they already know you, and you
Mm,
can't base your whole business off these pages. They are
mm,
kind of your default bottom line. You need them. But then you have landing pages or sales pages. They are for particular campaigns. They are for a particular purpose. And ideally, it's for a single audience that has a single problem, and you have a single call to action. And
absolutely.
that's why the solution-focused landing
Yes.
pages, they are the money drivers.
Absolutely. Yep. So to James's point as well, right? So James says my approach is you need to solve the problem. Think about it. People search to find a solution to the problem. Absolutely. All
Mm,
right. So let's just say that in this furnishing company's example, we have a landing page that says increase your rental ROI by 65%. Right. Well, I would imagine, there will be people out there who own rental properties who are struggling to get a meaningful return, going on the Google machine and maybe sometimes on ChatGPT, right? I would like to increase my rental yield,
mm,
right? And if we deploy the copywriting, the SEO, and the making sure that it's optimized for that particular problem, you know, to a point that we actually pop up in organic search, yeah, when people click that page, they go into a landing page that says increase your rental yield by 60, 70% in 3 months. Okay. Well, you are coming very close to trying to solve my problem. I'm interested to
mm,
know, right? I don't even care whether or not it is through furnishing. Is it through some, property guru techniques? Is this through selling and flipping my property? I don't care, right? But I'm not out there searching for furnishing ideas or as an investor, or what's the color, what is the color of my couch, right? I'm not searching that. I'm out there trying to look for an ROI for my property, right? So if we as a furnishing company of all things optimize our copywriting and optimize our page in a way where when people search for increasing rental ROI, we pop up, we're winning half the battle already.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yes, I second your point, but I'm just not a fan of here's my website. I go and pay someone in India, pay them $500, $500 a month. Okay. Do SEO for me, please. Right. Okay. All that they're gonna do is stuff keywords in, like fatten your page, fatten your website, lots of sub pages, lots of drop down lists. If you're in the trades business, they're gonna create 55 other identical pages based on each suburbs,
Mm,
right? These are technical SEO, right? And those are just meaningless exercises to me, right?
yeah. So, but you know, the point to take home is your money-making pages are sales pages, landing pages, that you purchase traffic for. And there are different opinions, but there might be a space where, like blog articles and stuff, they are probably great to answer long-term inquiries or long-term keywords, like for the
Mm-hmm.
furnishing. People are probably not going to look up um, irresistible offers because they don't know what the offer is.
Mm.
But they might look up, if they're in research mode, they might look up a topic of a blog article.
Yep.
So to say, how do I improve my Airbnb for maximum return? This could be blog title,
Yep.
and then the important bit is that your SEO traffic or SEO acquired traffic leads them to the landing pages.
Mm-hmm.
So you use it as a sales opportunity, but just traffic by itself on some blog articles is not going to help
Yeah.
you if that doesn't convert into.
Yeah. In hindsight, it is a D2 way to drive
Yeah,
traffic, which is
yeah,
still useful, but
but less predictable.
yeah, less predictable. But if you're in the business of um, a short term, like if you are in a stage in your marketing where you need some short term sales boost or an influx of lead flow coming into your business now,
Yeah.
SEO is definitely not the technique that you
No.
want to deploy, right? You want to go and create landing pages that are clearly problem solution driven, and deploy an advertising budget, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $300 a month. Drive paid direct traffic into those landing pages, and just monitor the conversion rate from there.
Yeah.
Okay, SEO is more of a long-term brand management, content marketing strategy. If there's no compelling content on a regular, consistent basis, there's no SEO, right? So it is a long-term brand management exercise. But if you're lead hungry right now, landing page, paid
Yeah.
traffic,
Yeah.
and see it works wonders for you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time I've got for today. And I
Yeah.
mean, I can keep talking forever,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all the time I've got for today. And again, for those of you who are watching, if you are interested to join our upcoming StoryBrand workshop in March or in May in Melbourne, this is the link that Ori is going to bring on the screen, csharp.au/workshop, and we would love to host you there. Thank you for staying through the call. We still have half a dozen people watching, which is very
Nice.
encouraging. And thank you, James, our new friend. I think he's new to our ecosystem, for joining and commenting so much. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you, Pauline from MBK, and those of you who are watching. Our commitment is every single week, probably the same time, we're going to jump on and ideally to actually work on a live marketing project. So if
Yes.
you have a website that you want reviewed, if you have a confusing marketing report from some fancy agency that you want to actually make sense of, right? Or if you are a little bit stuck in your marketing, don't know what the next stage of your marketing program should look like, please leave a comment below. Or actually, you guys can send us an email, can't you?
Yeah.
If you've got some PDFs or some reports that you want us to review, feel free to send us an email. Are you able to bring up?
It'll be in the show notes. I will edit
Okay.
in the show notes. So yeah,
Okay,
with some
right.
links.
Send us an email of any marketing collateral that you want review. Or if you want us to help you think through a sales funnel or an irresistible offer, or how to growth hack your way out of I don't know, a cash flow crunch or a sales crunch, we are all here. Me and
To help.
Ori and the rest of the team, yeah, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Um, good. All right. Any
Cool.
last words before we say good day?
1% better every day. Don't try to fix everything by next week, unless you come to the workshop and then you do. But otherwise, just one little step every day will do wonders for you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, have a good day, everybody. And thank you for tuning in. See you guys next week.
Sounds good. See you then.